CBS Sports HQ, powered by a Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier. Fuel your play. 49ers drafted quarterback Trey Lance in the first round, third overall in 2021. Managed to get him into 6 games last year. He did make 2 starts, went 1-1. 603 yards for him last season, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. And of course, those numbers going to balloon. He's now QB1 with the Niners, telling Jimmy Garoppolo he can move on. And Trey Lance at camp today sat down with our Jonathan Jones.
Jonathan Jones, CBS Sports here with San Francisco 49ers quarterback Trey Lance. And Trey, I know you have heard, San Francisco 49ers quarterback Trey Lance, but for the past year it's been backup quarterback or first-round pick Trey Lance. Now it's starting quarterback Trey Lance. How good does it feel?
Nothing really changes for me. I'll let you guys kind of worry about all that and the fans. I'm sure it's cool for them and everything like that. But, I came here, I've said it time and time again, preparing to play since the day I got here, since the day I got drafted. So I'm excited, obviously, that it's here. I'm excited for this year. But I'm just excited, to take a day at a time.
You say that, and I totally understand what you're saying, but also last season you were the backup, and then you were the starter, and then you were backup, then you were dealing with injuries, and I know that you've said it was difficult to answer those questions, right, in the press conferences. Everybody wants to know when it's going to happen, when it's going to take place. Just what sort of difference does a year make for you?
I feel like I'm in a great spot right now. Mentally, physically, dealt with the injuries that I dealt with last year, and I was in a little bit of a weird spot, but got to learn a ton, had a great year. Got to get really close with these guys in this locker room. I'm super excited to continue this thing.
Why do you think this franchise has so much confidence in you? A guy who went to a smaller school, who didn't get that much first-year action in the NFL, to hand over the keys to a team that just went to the NFC title game, was very close to a Super Bowl.
I'm confident in myself, but I guess that's a question for those guys. They know I got their back. I know they got my back 100%, so I'm excited to get this year started. I'm going to do everything I can to be as prepared as I can. Week 1, even the preseason, I'm be ready to go.
I know you've talked ad nauseum about Jimmy Garoppolo and how great he's been. I think even yesterday you talked about how he could have made life hell on you if he wanted to, but instead he sort of took you under his wing in a sense, right? Just if you could just speak to that relationship and what it's been like, even now where on the outside looking in, it could be awkward and it doesn't seem like it is.
Yeah, no, not at all. I see him still in the building now. It's good to see him. I haven't seen him. It's good to see him healthy. It was obviously everyone thinks it's awkward. Everyone put us against each other all year last year, but he was a big bro to me from my first day in the league. So I couldn't be more thankful for everything he did for me, and I'm super excited to see what he does next.
Now, Trey, I don't get too worked up over a training camp practice, good or bad. Today it seemed like you maybe wanted some throws back. It seemed like you and George Kittle were trying to work out that connection a little bit. How do you think practice went today?
Yeah, there's always going to be ups and downs. I'm kind of more worried at this point about how we respond. I thought it was a little bit sloppy today for sure on my end, but, we're going to keep getting better. It's only day 3, so we got a lot of work to do.
I saw yesterday I'm watching video of you at training camp. Today I come out here and I see your release a little bit. I know you've talked a little bit about your throwing motion. You're not going to give away the secret sauce, but just help me understand it's not an orthodox, I think, throwing motion that you see from most starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Doesn't mean it's not going to work, but just take me through how you've sort of developed that.
I guess it's just how I throw football. I don't really have a whole lot for you other than that, honestly.
Did you, in the offseason, whether it was the throwing motion or whether it was release, what did you work on especially this offseason? Because everyone I talked to say you had a great spring.
It was a great spring, great summer. Just mentally and physically getting my body to back to where I knew I could be. I feel like that's the biggest thing for me. I feel like I'm in a great spot right now.
I know everyone is wondering about Debo. I'm not going to ask you about his contract, obviously not putting you in that situation, but everyone here is talking very optimistically, like Debo will be back, that the deal is going to get done. If and when that does happen, what is he going to mean to you and to this offense out there on the field?
Yeah, everyone saw what Debo did, last year, throughout the year, especially as we, had that playoff run, the NFC Championship and everything like that. He's probably the most versatile offensive player I've ever been around, and a special person, special human. Definitely excited to get him back on the field, but it's great to have him right now, just in meetings, in the locker room, and around the guys.
Is it difficult at all? I know offensive line's been a little bit of musical chairs, right? Trent is supposed to come back very soon. Mike McGlinchey's supposed to come back very soon. Interior of the offensive line, there's some competition going on there. Has it been difficult, or are you embracing the challenge of what this offensive line has been so far in training camp?
It's been awesome. Jake Brendel's done a great job at center. Dan Brunskill as well. We got two or three rookies that have done a really good job, getting a lot of reps with the ones. A couple guys in my class, Aaron Banks and Jalen Moore. I mean, I can go up and down the line. But those guys have done a great job. It's hard without pads on, these first few days. But I'm super excited, to keep going and keep growing with these guys.
I think here in the NFL, we're always very surprised when we hear coaches be honest all the time. Kyle Shanahan is a guy who honesty is the best policy with him. Do you appreciate how blunt and honest he has been with you, with the whole team throughout this process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's the best way to go about things. Everyone's, men here, everyone's professionals. So being honest, having open and honest conversations, I think is the best way to get your point across.
Deal. Trey Lance, San Francisco 49ers quarterback. Thanks so much.
Thanks very much, JJ. He is at San Francisco 49ers training camp for us today and then off to Dallas tomorrow as we take a look at Trey Lance's numbers from his 2 starts last season. Not great. Lost 17-10, but they did win his second game as a starter, 23-7. And of course, 49ers, one of the favorites, certainly in that division, in the conference, and considered to be probably on the outside a little bit, Super Bowl contenders in 2022.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.